and welcome to this CSS lesson, Color Keywords. We are going to be looking at some keywords, color keywords that we can use. And the first one we are going to be looking at will be the transparent keyword, and that is used to make a color transparent. We are then going to be looking at the current color, which is a variable that holds the current value of the color property of an element. So we're going to be looking at that also. And then we'll be looking at the inherit keyword, which specifies a property that should inherit its value from its parent element. So we're going to be taking a look at these three, and we're going to dive straight into the code section to take examples. So we have here sample HTML, and the only thing here is it tells me transparent. Tells me the div. We have two divs. The first one has a class called background1, which says blue background. The second one has a background called background2, has a transparent background. So if I refresh this, I should only be seeing background1 and background2, which is the blue background and the transparent background. So this is what I am seeing. So we are going to first create a background for the body, and then we are going to create backgrounds for these divs, and we are going to set one of them to be transparent so that we can see the difference. So now I have the paper image right here, right? So this is the image of the paper, and we are going to set that as our background for the body, right? So just so you know, so in the style section, I'm going to style the body. Sorry, the body. And I'm going to set the background image. Let's see the background. I'm going to set it to the URL of paper. I'm going to set it to repeat. Right. So now when I just refresh this, I have this background. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have my two divs, and I am going to style them differently. So I'm going to first take my first div, which is div dot background1, right? And then I'm going to say background color. I'm going to set it to, it says what, blue, right? So I'm going to set it to blue. And then I'm going to add a border of 2 pixel solid yellow. Okay. I'm going to add a padding, 20 pixels. Okay. So when I refresh this, I have my border right here, my background right here. You can see that it is not transparent. And I'm going to do the same one for the second div, dot background2, background2. And this one, I'm going to have my background color set to keyword transparent. And I'm going to have my border 2 pixel solid yellow. And my padding set to 20 pixels. Okay, so we have this. So when I refresh this, you should see that this one is transparent. So that is the transparent property, the transparent value, which is a keyword used. The next thing I want us to look at is the current color keyword, right? So in order for us to see this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another div and I'm going to call it current color. Okay, just like that. And then I'm just going to say current color background. Okay, good. So, and so if I just refresh this, so we see what we can see what we're dealing with. We have it's taking a lot longer than it should, but yes. So you can see the current color background, and I do appreciate that the colors of the right sentences are all messed up. The backgrounds are not the right ones, but yes, this is just so you know what we're talking about. Okay, so now I'm going to style this. So I'm going to call my div dot current color. Then I'm going to style this. I'm going to say color, set this color to red. That should be clearer. So I'm setting the div, the color of my fonts text to red. And then I'm going to set the border of this to 10 pixel solid. And now this is where we are going to use current color, right? So if I say current color, all I'm saying is set the the color of the border to the current color, the color that's already been loaded onto the palette or whatever color is in memory, which is going to be the red, right? So then just so we can, I'm going to add padding to this before we test it. I'm going to say 20 pixels. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh this, and then you can see that the color that we initially chose was red, which was for the text or the font, and then we said load the current color and use it, assign it to the border. So that is what we have, and that is all what the current color does. So, but if you just wanted to, and it doesn't have to be in the current style or div, right? So for example, if I just do this, but I set the body color, set this to be green, let's say pink, right? Let's set this to pink, and it does refresh, but let's set this to pink. Now, when it comes here and you say current color, it's gonna take the color that you have set in the body element. So if I refresh this, so now you can see that the border color is now pink, right? And everything else, every color here is also pink. Good. So that is how you can use the current color. Finally, we are going to use the inherit color. And to do that, I'm going to use the same div here, right? But I'm going to add a span right here. Oh, you know what? Let me create another div so that it doesn't get confusing. And I'm going to call this inherit. Okay, and this current color background inherits. Okay, so now I can add maybe a span right here, and then in the span I can maybe add this inherits from the parent. Okay, good. So that is my span, and that is right there. So what are we trying to do right now? So I am going to just style, I'm going to style the span, and then I'm just going to say, because the parent is inherit color, I'm just going to say inherit the border. So I'm going to say border. So instead of doing this, I'm just going to say inherit, right? So this keyword inherit specifies that the property, which is going to be the border, should inherit its value from its parent. So the parent has a border, so just uh, inherit the same thing, right? So now when I refresh it, I have to wait. Okay, so the issue here is the class name is inherit color, but I do not have a class like that. So I am going to create one, turn that into inherit. So that's what it's causing it. So that's why it took the default, which is the body color. So I'm going to call this inherit color, and then let's say I pass in here green. Okay, so as you can see now when I refreshed it, uh, it took the color of the parent because the border was 10 pixels solid green, and now the span also has a border around it that is 10 pixels solid green. So that is how the inherit color keyword also works. The inherit keyword works. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next lesson.